If you're interested in FIFA Mobile, I currently have a second channel where we run a FIFA Mobile Road to Glory, link down below. And if you need any coins for Ultimate Team to get a head start on the game, head to the link in the description. Use the code TVM for a discount at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new prediction video. I'm going to use a few of the players that I've used in previous versions of this video, but it's been a little while since we've had a player moments card. Forsberg was, I think, the one and only card we've had this year. There are, of course, flashbacks on the horizon as well. I'm sure it's been a little while since we've had one of those. But up first, we're going to talk about Giovanni. Now, I don't have instances where they've done something and I think that that's the reason why they'll be given the card. EA could quite literally say for his appearance against, and then insert team here in 1996. And no one was going to bat an eyelid. No one even reads it these days. Giovanni in contention. Martins is a player that a lot of people used at the very beginning of the game. Has nice skills. It's got very good pace. Links into Mbappe, Ben Yedder, and of course links to Ronaldo. So a lot of people would like a nice Martins card, myself included actually. This would be not perfect, but it would be good in my team. Rafa is another player that I've seen a lot of people use an awful lot, and it's not a card that therefore I'm saying people want. It's EA have been looking at what cards get used the most, and I think they've been giving special items based on that, or at least players that link with cards that are used an awful lot, if that makes sense. Rafa being one of them. Up next is Carrasco, a player that I used recently in a draft. Used at the very beginning of the game. I'm sure most people did. He was worth 25k at the very beginning because he's got the 4-star, and of course he has a good pace, decent dribbling, and all the rest of it to boot as well. So a nice boosted Carrasco would be nice. Moving on to a player that a lot of people might be like, why? Well, he's bound to get... Well, no, he's injured all season. He's not going to get anything this year from just playing normally, right? So I'm expecting something like this year. Is it too soon for a special Van Dijk? I think so. I think we're probably looking at maybe Footmas at the very earliest, but it's definitely something that will happen, I think, along the way somewhere. Coutinho is a card that I'm not saying I desperately need it, but I wouldn't turn it down. That's for damn sure. An 86 rated. I'm trying to keep it in line with what we've seen so far with regards to flashbacks and with regards to the player moments Forsberg. You know, in and around between 85 and 87. Van Dijk is the exception because that's something that's going to come at some point, I'm sure. Sula, a player that links to Road to the Final Klosterman, and someone that you can maybe build at the back from. Of course, you can link Manuel Neuer to him, and of course put Klosterman next to him as well. Alaba has a decent card this year. Plenty of options, but EA like to give more options this year for some... Well, not for some reason. I do like it, but they link it to specific players. Koke being another one. Gets a strong link, hyperlink actually, to Llorente, who has an inform and a rule breaker. So whichever version of that card you decide to pick up or have already, you then will have an option of going out and completing this SBC, and it's what EA want. They want you to complete these SBCs. Hulk is another one of those players that links to the rule breaker Talisca, the inform Paulinho, gets good links to those players, and is no slouch himself. Now, I don't actually know if you want to play him on the right-hand side or not, but either way, he looks like a bit of a beast card with a beast name to go with it as well. Fernandinho is one of those cards that I saw at the very beginning of the game alongside the ones to watch Thiago Silva. Not so much these days, and the reason for that, of course, is because he's too slow. Nice little pace upgrade. He could be moved into a CDM, but even as a centre-back with 70 pace, shadow on him. Links to your Ake, who is again overpowered this year, and good card. Muniain, again, a player that I've seen an awful lot at the very beginning of the game. Skills, dribbling, 83 rated. Could potentially go up to like an 86, maybe even an 87, but I would say an 86 is about right. I've tried to do about 2 informs worth of boosts in most cases. Some have 3, but most cases it's just 2. A player that actually does have a moment to remember back on, of course, in the Champions League when Roma were down and he popped up with a header. I think he popped up with 2 headers and they won the game. It was an epic comeback, but this would be unreal. I mean, Manolas gets a special card every year, no doubt about it, but he's not been used that much this year. This would kickstart, I think, a Serie A defence. Coman is a player that I've seen a lot of pros use at the very beginning of the game, and I've seen a couple of pros use him in challenges and say that he's a really good card. So would not be surprised at all to see some form of special Coman card, because EA know what their game suits this year. Marcelo, I think, is a bit of a wasted one, because most people would still prefer to go after Ferland Mendy. Does Marcelo still have 5-star skills this year? If he does, this could be a desirable card, and definitely a reason for EA to go and sort of put it into the game. But I'm not too sure. Don't know about that one. A player that I think got a play moments last year, so maybe forget about this, but it's definitely worth a mention, because, again, he gets links into certain players, and this year EA are all about trying to make you spend your coins in SBCs more than ever, because they are determined to put players out there that link to players that you may be using already, and Silva would be a decent cam, I think. Longley obviously links to Raphael Varane. Gets a few other links in there as well. But if you can't afford Raphael Varane and you have untradeable cards, guess what? Now you can go get yourself a Longley. That would be my thought process if I was sat there over at EA. I mean, to be fair, my thought process would be completely different if I was sat at EA. I would be pulling League 2 players out and making them 85 rated for a laugh. Lucas Moura, probably going back to the Champions League a few seasons ago, where he came on as a sub several times as a striker and scored very important goals if you needed some context. But either way, this would make people spend money, I think. What a card that is. Very nice. Going back to maybe his West Ham days, maybe even before that, Dimitri Payet. I mean, I'd love to be able to give players more pace. Like Payet right here, I'd love to give him 80 plus pace. I'm not sure EA will do it, and I wanted to be conservative, but I've moved him into the middle, and now all of a sudden made him a lot more usable. Let's talk about a Premier League player that I'd love to see get a special card, even though it wouldn't actually be that great. I mean, as a cam, maybe, but he's got 5-star skills for some reason. So that's why I think this, well, not think this card, I'd like this card to get a special item. Nice boosted pace, passing and dribbling with his 5-star skills. Yes, please. Speaking of 5-star skills, Bernardeschi. I am going to put this guy in every promo until I get it right, because there is absolutely no way EA go through an entire game cycle and they don't give this 5-star skiller that links to Ronaldo a special card. Whether it be a flashback, whether it be a moment, whether it be some really random made-up promo just to give him a boosted card. I don't care what it is, he needs one. And finally, he should, theoretically, get an inform tomorrow. If he doesn't, A, EA don't watch football, and B, it means he's going to get something like this. 87 rated, central Riyad Mahrez. Doesn't quite have the pace to be a winger this year, so there is every chance that EA decide to give him some sort of central card, because as a cam, that card would be incredible. And of course, he has 5-star skills. Very much looking forward to it. 5-star skills this year, of course, is massive, and that's why people want 5-star skillers, and that's why I've focused very heavily on 5-star skiller upgrades here. But a lot of these players will link to pre-existing overpowered cards or cards that you used an awful lot. So that's my thought process behind it. I've not gone for any quote-unquote small teams necessarily. I've not gone for any small players. They're all well-known players. However, it's the way EA seem to be doing things, you know, with the big links. Forsberg, you could argue, isn't like a quote-unquote big player, but he plays for a team that links to an awful lot. Klosterman, Sabitzer, Upamecano, Kanate, Mukiele. You know, they've given an awful lot of special cards for Leipzig this year, so it was inevitable that that was going to happen. It's a matter of time before Angelino gets a special card, for example. But there we are. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more potential player moments and flashback cards, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.